You are listening to the Cup of Kudos Show, a podcast focused on sharing content filled with insight, motivation, inspiration, and sometimes a little spunk. Hi, everyone. It's Elizabeth Morosco. I had a chance to sit down with Hurley Wellness Center and get some tips on keeping family healthy this summer with the food that we eat and some different exercises we can do just to create a little bit of fun and good health for everyone in the house. All right, today I am with a very special guest who has a ton of insight that will help families as we get into the summer season. I'm really excited to introduce to you Emily Gideon, who is what is your title here? Community Wellness Dietitian.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so what is a Community Wellness Dietitian?
So a dietitian is somebody who is an expert in nutrition. A dietitian has to have a bachelor's degree, so I studied nutrition in college and got a degree in that. After that, they have to complete a internship and pass this, pretty rigorous exam. So a dietitian is somebody who's an expert and very knowledgeable in the nutrition field. A community wellness dietitian is a dietitian who works for the community. They help the general public with improving their health instead of, maybe a dietitian would work in a hospital or, a nursing home, but a community wellness dietitian works for everybody in the community, the general public.
And I see a lot of that happening here where there is more effort moving towards alternative health options that involve diet instead of going directly towards taking medicine. And Hurley seems to be doing a really proactive job on teaching the community some of that. One of the things that I noticed when I came in is it's called the food pharmacy.
Yeah.
What is that about?
So the food pharmacy is... in our population, we noticed that food insecurity is really a problem where a lot of, members of our community are having difficulty affording food or affording enough food. So in order to kind of help with that, Hurley set up the food pharmacy where a patient can get referred to the food pharmacy. So when they come, they can pick up 2 days worth of food for themselves and for everyone in their household. And it started off, on the smaller side, but just over time, the program, as people have learned about it, it's just gotten much bigger, and it's, really, it's just helped thousands of people, and it's such a great program.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I had heard that they even will show you different recipes based on different health conditions that you have.
Yeah.
Different ailments that you're faced with.
Yeah. So there's a dietitian who works and coordinates the food pharmacy. Her name is Suzanne. She's just lovely. And so if, there's certain conditions where maybe you need to eat a little bit less salt, she can kind of help walk through how to choose lower salt options and how to make recipes that are lower in salt and how to, adapt that kind of, diet change into your home.
Lifestyle, yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And especially if we can start to teach people at a really young age how to embrace some of these healthy habits, it can prevent a lot of disease and health conditions later. And with summer approaching, it's where we can slip into really bad habits of, eating junk food and stuff that maybe isn't necessarily the best for your kids' hyperactivity or even yourself. So one of the things I was hoping you could share with us is kids are getting ready to come home for this summer. What are some tips that can help parents while they're at home to provide, healthy eating habits and maintain that through the summer?
Sure. Well, let me start off by saying, don't get me wrong, like chips and hot dogs and all that stuff has its place. I'm not going to turn any of that stuff down when I'm at a barbecue or something.
Right, exactly.
But nutrition...
Summertime and barbecue and good food.
I know. Nutrition is more about the larger picture instead of what we do on any single day. So choosing healthier options most of the time, it's a really great way to kind of, still feel like we're not restricting any foods or, eliminating any foods, but we're still making those healthy choices or we're still having a healthy kind of lifestyle. So just on a day-to-day basis, having our snacks being, different things of fruit or vegetables and dip instead of chips or cookies or something like that. Summer's a really great time for that because, all of the fruits and all the vegetables are just so good in the summer, especially.
And
like
Michigan does have a pretty incredible summer season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strawberries and
harvest,
cherries and blueberries
Yeah.
and, oranges from Florida. Oh my gosh, just. But Michigan cherries, they're to die for.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And they're
it's
healthy
like
too.
Candy. It
Right.
is like candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's healthy candy.
It is healthy candy. Yeah. So, what are some things that parents can do? Do you have any suggestions to help them?
Sure.
Encourage their kids to try new things.
Yeah,
or
sure.
Fruit, or veggies too.
Yeah. Healthy eating at home starts with healthy choices at the grocery store. If we're not choosing healthy options at the grocery store, we can't possibly expect our kids to make healthy choices at home. So loading up the fridge with, lots of good fruits and veggies and whole wheat crackers and, lots of good healthy options. It really starts at the grocery store. And, I use that kind of idea with patients a lot too, because it's really easy to make, or it's a lot easier, I should say, to make good choices for one day while you're grocery shopping instead of for the rest of the week while you're at home. Because if we, choose a lot of junk food and that kind of stuff at the grocery store, it's really hard to not eat it.
That's right.
The rest of the week when we're at home. So
Right.
starting just making those decisions off the bat.
I remember one time when I was growing up, my mom a neighbor had come over and was saying something to my mom like, "How did you afford to buy all this fruit and all this stuff?" And she told her it's no more than it costs to buy all the junk food that you bought, like the chips and the cookies and the stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she'd make homemade cookies. But the one thing that she always tried to do was make sure there was fresh fruit always in the house, and then to try new things,
Yeah.
So, I think that it can definitely be a misconception that fruit costs more to eat healthy, because I think that you can eat healthy at the same cost that you can eat bad food or food, junk food.
Yeah. So calorie for calorie, those high calorie foods are less expensive. However, one thing that people tend to kind of forget about when they think about that is how that food kind of satisfies us. Fiber is a really great part of fruits and vegetables that give us that, feeling of fullness. Fiber is also really, really great for our health. It's good for preventing cancers, and it's good for if we're watching our cholesterol. But fiber, keeps us full and satisfied, even though, maybe we're not getting, all the calories that we would get in chips or pretzels or
So it's
cookies.
the magic food that has the fiber that's good.
It is, yes.
Now,
And
what foods are there?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Any whole grain kind of option is going to have lots of fiber. Vegetables, so celery, carrots, cucumbers.
So maybe cut those up and have them in your fridge.
Absolutely,
waiting for
yeah.
you.
Yeah, cut them up, stick them in a Tupperware thing, maybe, put a little water in there to keep them, from drying out.
Yeah, we used to do our celery, cut it up and put it in a glass. And then just have it quick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really great thing for herbs
do
too.
That. Oh, for herbs, it is a great idea, Emily.
Like if you have cilantro or dill or mint, stick them in a glass, fill it with water, maybe put like a baggie on top of it, and then stick it in the fridge. It'll last for like a month instead of going bad and wilting within a week.
I haven't tried that. I'm going to try that. Yeah. I like to grow some herbs in the garden, but I don't have a lot of time, so maybe two.
Yeah.
Maybe like basil and rosemary or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some herbs that just don't grow as well here. Like cilantro is one of my favorite herbs on the planet, but it's a little bit harder to grow up here.
Too?
I'm getting more into it. I was, my mom was never
like all encompassing. I love it, Emily. I'm going to garden and teach you how to eat it. Good.
Well, I have a lot of things to learn about gardening. But
me too.
I'm trying to get more into it.
Yeah.
So, over the last couple of years, I've always had like pots of herbs and stuff on my deck.
Cool.
But this year, I'm actually trying to like grow stuff in the ground now instead of in pots.
Yeah.
So
I've always done flowers,
come back to me
but
in like
not
a
the
year.
veggies. Yeah, maybe we'll compare notes a year from now.
Yeah.
How's your produce grow?
Oh, yeah. We'll see.
I love it. Yeah. And if not, you can always go to places like Flint Farmers Market.
Sure, yeah.
Or wherever your farmers market is to get good produce.
Right, yeah.
And some of them will even do some of these incentive programs, I've heard, for, families that are maybe economically in need. So, reach out to your local farmers market to find out if they have programs. So, okay. So if we get the kids fueled up with good food, good fruits, good vegetables, what do you have some suggestions on keeping them active so they don't do the slouch of moving into Xbox and PlayStation for 8 weeks?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, tell me.
So luckily with the summer, the weather is nice. It's not like the winter at all where, it's freezing and nobody really wants to be outside.
Right.
So there's a lot of activities, to do outside, like swimming or playing basketball or just running around and playing tag with, other kids or, the neighbors. All of those things are, really good, active, high movement kind of activities. If you have a garden at home, getting the kids kind of involved with that gardening, because that gardening is activity, it's movement.
For sure.
Definitely. And, kind of killing two birds with one stone with that, you also get kids excited about eating all the, fruits and vegetables that they're growing, or they're really excited to watch those flowers grow. And so it gets kids really engaged and involved in that kind of way.
Exactly. Dropping a seed of a tomato and then watching it grow.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it does lead to a sense of excitement for little ones when they see how something goes from like a seed to actually something that grows over time. It's that anticipation.
Right. Especially the younger ones, like first, second-ish grade, because they love having more independence and more responsibility for things, and giving them like something physical like a flower or a tomato plant and saying, here's your thing. You have to take care of it now. Giving them that responsibility. They love that kind of stuff. And
that could be a good incentive too to make them eat their fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely it could. Yeah.
Right? We're gonna go pick blueberries and you can eat all of them.
Yeah, and you just reminded me too, going out to like a strawberry patch nearby and spending the day just picking strawberries. Maybe you'll fill up while you're out there. Also on strawberries, just kind of like put one in your mouth, one in the basket, maybe another one in your mouth. But, that kind of activity too gets, kids active and out there.
And it's fun. I think those are where you get the good memories from, too.
Absolutely.
When you're doing something together as a family like that. Blueberry
right.
picking or strawberry picking.
Yeah.
And then go make some jam.
Oh, yes.
Maybe we can get a recipe from you for some homemade jam that's not filled with just all sugar one day.
Yeah. Definitely.
So as summer comes in, I know that Hurley's Wellness Center offers a lot of awesome programs all year round. For this upcoming summer, do you guys have any programs for the community that they should know about?
Yeah. One program that we're offering that we do every year, and we're so excited about it, is called Camp Move It. And it's in Camp Connick in Fenton.
Yeah, that's a great place.
Yeah, it's so great. And, we partner with the Y. And so it's all about, kind of the things that we were talking about. So they do all these camp activities like, swimming and archery, and there's a zip lining course there, and they do campfires and all kinds of fun stuff. During the time that they're there, they also, learn about healthy eating and nutrition.
So who is that program for? Is that for adults or kids or families?
It's for kids, yeah.
Okay.
It's a week-long overnight camp for kids. I believe the ages is from 8 to 12.
Okay.
And so it's, it's a week-long, it's overnight.
Fun.
And it's very low cost. We have a lot of sponsorship, programs available, so parents don't have to pay, the standard rate that camp would normally charge for that kind of stay. But it's a really, really great program.
Yeah, they have so many fun things to do. They have a lake, and they have, I think, the slides and horseback riding, and just a beautiful preservation of nature.
Yeah.
And it's actually not that far away from being centrally located to everybody.
Right, yeah. Camp at Copeman Connick is, I believe, 15 or 20 minutes away from here in Flint. So it's not far at all.
Right. Not too far from the freeway either.
No, just down 23 and that's it.
So when is this Camp Move It?
Yeah.
When is that?
It's at the end of July.
Okay.
The dates are from July 28th to August 2nd. So that last week of July, first week of August.
Okay.
So the kids are dropped off that Sunday and then picked up on Friday.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So how would a family get tied into something like that?
We have some information. I can give you an email and phone number to call to ask questions about that, and we can answer questions about financial aid for that as well. But I will send you over the email and phone number to.
That would be great.
To get in touch with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to tell our listeners, I wish you were in Emily's office because it's filled with a lot of colorful everything. She even has a poster called Eat Right that's made out of fruits and vegetables. Yep. This is a diehard girl for her veggies. I love it.
I love that poster because, patients will sit, kind of in front of me and they'll face that poster and they're like, oh, hey, I see carrots on that poster. I love carrots. Maybe I can try something with carrots.
Right.
It, gives people ideas.
It's a beautiful poster, but it's kind of funny. It's like, yes, I hear what you're saying to me. Even dot your I with a tomato.
Yeah,
quite literally. So, yeah.
I wish I could take credit for that, but I can't.
Yeah.
But I do like that poster.
That's all right. You did good. You decorated your office with it. Yeah. It's uplifting. And so are you.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that those are some of the key things, too, when you can get wisdom from people like yourself and share it with our families.
Yeah.
That's how we can create a healthier community, one person and one family at a time.
Right.
So I have to tell you, every time, this is the second time I've met with Emily. I think we met the first time, it was about a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was at a different location.
Yeah.
But you have such dynamic energy, and I feel so thrilled to see how far your program's coming and the positive words that I keep hearing from different people that have receive some of the wisdom that you've shared. So this is
thank
wonderful.
you. That's very kind.
Yeah, no, seriously. And she is diehard. Like you were saying, you're getting ready to go to another program that was for, what was it, dietitian for maternity, right?
Oh, yeah. So once a week, I work with for pregnant moms or to-be moms who have diabetes during pregnancy. So during, the time that I'm there, I'll teach the pregnant ladies about how to, count their carbs and, what are carbs and, how to kind of watch and eat appropriately for their gestational diabetes so that they, have a healthy delivery and that the baby is healthy too. So
and I think it's great because you're getting into like these niche topics that need different insight for how to handle their conditions. So I love that you're doing that. So, with the pregnancy, and you guys also do one for people with high blood pressure. And so it's pretty incredible.
Thank you.
It's taken a lot of time and a lot of wisdom. I'm just so grateful that you're sharing it with the community.
Thank you.
So if somebody wanted to get signed up, whether it's a pregnant mom-to-be that has high blood pressure or somebody has diabetes, how do they get in tune to this program? Like, how do they find you?
Sure. Usually the way that they find us is through their doctor. So they'll go to their doctor and they'll say, hey, is there any way that I can see a dietitian to help me with, this medical thing that's going on, or just because I want to learn. It doesn't have to be for any kind of medical reason. Right. And the physicians around this community know us. They know where we are, and they know how to refer us. They know how to refer the patients to us, I should say. So that's a really great, point of contact. Doctors really are, very good about referring patients to us and kind of being that point of contact for us. So I would say that's a great place to start. If not, contacting the Hurley Wellness email, which will be, I'll give you that email as well.
Okay, we'll make sure that we include that in the description for you guys later too, for our readers.
Yeah, that's also a great way to kind of reach out and.
So is this a program that's also covered by some medical insurance?
Yes,
Is it? Okay.
It depends on which insurance. Sometimes you need a certain diagnosis in order to be covered. Sometimes, sometimes you don't. But I know like Medicare and Medicaid does cover some nutrition counseling
Right.
with a diagnosis. I know like Blue Cross generally covers nutrition counseling as well with certain diagnoses, but we also do free classes as well. So
That's incredible.
yeah,
That's
thank you.
incredible. Yeah.
We try.
Yeah. Well, no, and the reason why I'm saying that, I won't say the name of it, but there's another hospital that's down in Metro Detroit that my mom recently went to.
Yeah.
And they charged a fee.
Oh,
A
okay.
significant fee.
Okay.
To sign up for that. But yeah, so I think it's important for other people to know
Mm-hmm.
there are resources out there, so that if you are on a fixed income,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to do this alone. There are tools within the wellness center and
Yeah.
even insight that you guys have online that people can find.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we try to keep things low cost around here as well,
I love
too.
that about her. You're very vested in the community. That's great.
Even if insurance doesn't cover, even if you have to pay cash for the visit, our fee is $45 an hour, which is, very, very low compared to, seeing a dietitian maybe elsewhere. So, bless you.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
kind
need
of
to get a blessing.
Yeah,
tonight
no,
from
you're
this
good.
lady. She's got it all together. I'll take all the blessings I can get. So, anyhow, well, I do really appreciate you meeting with us today and
Yeah.
sharing this insight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I wish you healthiness, no sneezing, and lots of fruits and veggies.
Yeah, you too. Same for you.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
And make sure that you check out our website at cupofkudos.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Kudos Magazine. And we wish you and your loved ones a very healthy and happy summer.